We was going to church every Sunday. Then I got in that relationship and it was evil. It was ungodly. It was very demonic because of the way that he would put his hands on me for no reason. Just all kind of stuff. And I had a big heart. Like, I'm very loving. I would do anything for anybody if I could, if it's in my power to do so. He took advantage of that. He learned my weaknesses, and that's so messed up. But he learned my weaknesses and stuff. Then I started straying away from the Father because I was just getting beaten. I'm just like, Lord, I don't deserve this. And then he gave me before I even just getting beat, he gave me an incurable STD. Everybody, like, for those who watch me, y'all know what my incurable STD is. And I'm just like, Lord, why? Like, why? So it made me stay with him longer because I felt like nobody wanted to be with me. Having something that's incurable. And then, like, then hidden started, and the crazy thing is he knew about it the whole time. He purposely gave it to me, and that's why you gotta be obedient. That's why you don't have sex before marriage, and you don't stay with somebody that is unequally yoked. Like, literally, oh man, I couldn't tell all of the red flags in the beginning because I never really got into a real relationship. So, like, I couldn't, like, see the red flags. Like, I just kept saying, like, this relationship's too good to be true. Like, it was. Like, I was, like, genuinely happy. We never argued anything. Then just suddenly he started with just breaking up with me randomly for no reason. And then they would be making me crazy and stuff. And I never chased a man before, but I did. And I'm just like, why are you breaking up with me? What did I do to you? Like, what did I do? I was really close to his grandma, so his grandma would come pick me up. She wanted us to be together because I was changing him. I had him going to church, all that. So she would pick me up even though we would be broken up, and then we would talk and stuff like that, and we get back together. And then, or, like, I got tired, like this ain't normal. So then I broke up with him for real. At that time, I was living with my parents. I was still, younger and stuff. And he would just be, like, knocking for hours. And I would just tell him to leave. I didn't want to call police at the time. And, yeah, then we just would get back together and stuff. But anyways, long story short, I made him get protection when we first did it. First time. Because he tried to without it. And I was like, no. I just had a baby not too long ago. Brielle was about 1.5. Like, he been knowing her since 1.5. So I'm like, I just had a baby. Like, I don't want to, you feel me? Like, I don't want no more kids, and I don't want no incurable STDs and stuff like that. And I said, I'm not saying you got that stuff, but, like, I want to be protected. He was like, all right. He went to go get the stuff. And then I guess at some point in time he took it off, because then when we was done, he was just like, I took the condom off. And I was like, what? So then I asked him, did he, in me? And he was like, no. But I felt that he lied. And then I, like, a couple days later, like, it was fast, I had to bump on my private. It was hurting so bad. I was crying. It was itchy. And I couldn't seek no medical attention for 2.5 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks after having it. And I was crying to my mom and stuff. My mom was so busy. I was on the other side of town from my mom. And then his sister at the time, she was busy too. I was living with his sister, like, we was roommating. And I just didn't have no car. So then I found out, eventually my mama took me, she set up an appointment, found out that I had that. And I remember I came up to him and I addressed him about it. I told him I just tested positive. And then he just like, oh yeah, because I would ask him, like, why he had like a little scratch on his lip. It was like a scratch. It didn't look like no STD or anything, but he had a little scratch. I was like, how you get a little scratch right there? He was like, he was shaving, because at the time he was in the military and he was shaving. So I was like, how you get there? What? Like, he was like, I was shaving and stuff. I cut myself. So mind y'all, we did both. Okay, y'all get what I mean? So I let him, and yeah, anyways, long story short, when I went to get tested, I found like I had that stuff. And I addressed him about it. He was like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you when I went down on you, I had something on my mouth. Like, boy, be for real. Like, you lying. Like I said, I get tested all often. Like, you're lying. I said, when I asked you what that was on your lip, you told me that you was shaving. Like, he was just acting like he didn't care. Like, when I told him about it, he just was like looking like this. Like, I don't care. And then that's when he said, oh yeah, when I went down on you, then I had like a little cut on my lip and stuff. And but his uncle was there, and he was like, calm down. Like, I know that's messed up. He just like calming me down. And then like from there, like, it was just hard to leave him alone at that time. And then like later on, I just thought nobody would want me. I stayed with him and stuff. And then that's when he started hitting me. Well, he wasn't hitting me, but he was strangling me. And then from there, like years later, eventually went to closed fist and stuff. Like, it's just like, I just noticed, like, well, you're not focused on God when your mind, and this is me saying this to say for somebody that might be struggling. I have HPV. Somebody that may be struggling, that when you need to make sure that you have your mind focused on God, and make sure that you're aligning with his words. It says to love God is to obey his commandments. And when you don't do that, stuff can happen, right? Even if you obeying it, says it rains on the just as well as the unjust, right? But I could have avoided that. The crazy thing is, my mom and daddy kept telling me constantly, and my siblings, I hope you use a protection with him. I hope you use a protection. I hope you're not doing stuff with him yet. You know, that ain't your husband. That'd be my mom and daddy. I'm like, laughing. And they telling me not to do it. I ain't listening. Now I got something for life. You know. And my stuff is still test positive. I don't get outbreaks, but my stuff does still test positive. And like they said, after a certain years, it's supposed to go dormant, which means it's supposed to be like hidden off. That don't mean it's cured, but it's supposed to go hidden off. And they was telling me that it still tested positive, so now they got to do a surface scrape to make sure it's not cancerous. And I ain't gonna lie, I be having like little stuff on my breast and little red patches that just be randomly coming on my stomach. My cervix be hurting like so bad, aching so bad. Sometimes I've gotten tested for other stuff. Like, it's not other stuff, but I'm just scared that it could be cervical cancer. I'm scared that I done messed up my life. And I got out of, and I started leaving church because he was just so ungodly. And I was just, I don't know, like, something about me, it seemed like I was just so stuck. Like, I couldn't leave him no matter how bad he did me. I couldn't leave, and I wanted to. I just didn't have the strength to. And sometimes I would be scared to leave, actually, because he was crazy. And I started straying away from God, and now I just feel angry all the time. I feel so angry. I'm just like, how can me as a mother, I just, feel like I failed. I feel like I'm a mama and daddy's girl, and I feel like I failed the family I created. I feel like I failed my parents. I just was thinking, like, what if I never got into this relationship? Do y'all know how far I would be in life? I would have been in my house. I had a house. I would have still been in my own home. I would have had a nice nice stuff. I had my own business, everything. I gave all that up for someone that acted like they had nothing to lose. They had plenty to lose, but you know, I just don't want to speak in vain though, y'all.